The Mountain Brothers, the unsung heroes of rap, are a hip-hop trio from Philadelphia that seem to fall under the radar a bit, and I don't know why, so I thought they'd be a good subject for the video. You'll have to bear with me a bit because there seems to be minimal information about them online as they're no longer active. Most articles and links aren't easily found, so I've cobbled together what I could. The name comes from the 108 mountain bandits depicted in the Chinese novel Water Mandarin. They consist of Styles Infinite, Parallel and Chop, who was originally going to produce for them until the other members convinced them to rap too. He created the group while attending Pennsylvania State University and State College, Pennsylvania. He met through making music on the campus in the electronic music lab. He started using the lab as a music studio with the goal of being signed to a major label. So they started sending out demos somewhat anonymously. Chop spoke on this, saying, "We didn't want anyone to prejudge us on us being Asian, so we sent out a demo and a letter saying, we have a picture, but it doesn't matter what we look like. If you like our music, people that knew music, it was their job to like music. They loved our music. So when we sent them the picture, the mind was blown." Chops moved a lot as a kid, meaning it'd be very difficult for him to form long-lasting friendship. He'd always had a passion for making music though, as his brother was in a band and he got a knack for playing the keys.
Yeah, generally I'm not really like into sampling too much because, like, say if I was to sample something by like Curtis Mayfield or like Isaac Hayes or something like that, it would be dope, but it's really more so dope because of Isaac Hayes or Curtis Mayfield. It's like not really my idea and stuff, and I have a lot of ideas and stuff. I've been playing instruments since I was in like 6th grade, so this is kind of a way to get the ideas that I have in my head out, as opposed to like taking other people's ideas and using those. So.
One day his friend would bring a drum machine into the school and Chops would instantly gravitate towards it, first copying the beat from the song Walk This Way by Run DMC. Continuing to move around a lot, music became the one point of stability in Chops' life, and his mother was always supportive and went on to buy him instruments. This had later ended up benefiting the Mountain Brothers immensely, giving them the signature combination of both live and electronic instruments.
I don't really use records to make beats, I just use instruments and stuff instead, right? Like, for instance, this here bass, or this here guitar. But I can show you like the different stages that might go into making a beat. Say it might start off with like a keyboard riff or something, like just like some chords. All right, so you have that. And drums, I program the drums too. I don't like loop them or nothing. You take individual drum hits and like. All right. And if you put all that together, you get this. And this here is like an organ. It's like a B3 organ, which is like back from the 60s. And that's this.
In 1996, the dream came true when Rough House Records signed them, making history as the first Chinese-American rap group to sign to a major label. But unfortunately, this would be short-lived, as they'd be let go in 1998. The debut had come out the same year, although independently, on Pimp Strut Records, which they created themselves. It still managed to garner critical praise though, going on to be a classic underground rap album. In 2003, the group had put out the second and last album, Triple Climb. It would be under Baby Grande Records, which are obviously known for facilitating talent like Brand Nubian, Cannabis, Jedi Mind Tricks. Shortly after, the group disbanded. Chops is the only member that's still active, and in 2003 he put out his own debut solo 3-disc LP, Vitrosity, coming with a stacked feature list with the likes of Raekwon, Planet Asia, Tyler Quelly, and even a pre-college dropout Kanye. He carried on producing beats, making his own mixtapes and albums, and then got more steady work creating music for TV and film. Chops has openly talked about the prejudice he's faced while doing hip-hop. He once said, "I remember this one guy who was connected at a big label that said, you know what you guys should do, wear karate suits and hit gongs. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Stuff with your culture." And I was like, man, I was born in New Jersey. After becoming a father, Chops started to question how he could contribute to make the world better for his daughter. This led to the creation of the album Strength in Numbers, a collaboration with many Asian American artists. The album is a celebration and a reflection of Asian Americans and was supposed to be a launching pad for many independent artists. It was completed over a 2-year period with the hope of pulling everyone's fans together to help each other grow, while also dismantling some stereotypes. The album had help from over 30 artists, and Chops' main goal was to let the music speak for itself.
Yeah.
How did it start, and what's your plans for it?
The Strength in Numbers project it's part showcase and it's part like producer album. When I was growing up, I always liked producer albums by people like Dr. Dre and Timbaland and stuff like that, where the producer got to work with, a lot of different people from their area, or a lot of different people that, that they generally collaborated with. And that was something, I had an album that I did along those lines about 10 years ago now. But I wanted to combine that kind of concept with like the Asian American theme. Like, I started noticing over the past few years that there was like all these dope like Asian American rappers and singers, you know what I mean? And when we started out, like in Mountain Brothers, like this is like late 90s, right? So there's the combination of like, there wasn't that many of us that was really, in my opinion, that great. And the great ones might not have I might not have found the great ones because, the communication back then was not like it was now. Like, we had like dial-up internet. Now, it's much easier to find somebody dope. Like, and maybe there was like and now that I'm actually learning more about the history of like Asian Americans and rap and stuff, like just from doing this project, people are introducing me to artists from back then that I didn't know about. There's a lot of stuff where it's like, man, like if I'd even known about them back then, it would have been cool to like get to know them or, work with them or stuff like that. But fast forward back to today, it felt like time to try to do something like that, to try to like gather as many people as I could and connect with as many people as I could that were dope to me, and try to put something together that like everybody could be proud of.
So yeah, pretty short video, but there isn't much about the Mountain Brothers, to be honest. As Chop says, he lets the music speak for itself, and that's all he has really left of them, the music. So I'd say just go and give both of their albums a classic, in my opinion, both of them. And even Chops' solo album, Atrocity, is also amazing. So yeah, you've got them, and then the Strength in Numbers as well, another, I'd say that's a classic album, to be honest. It's unbelievable, some of the production on there. So yeah, just go and check out Chops' music. I think he's on Twitter. I'll put his app below. But yeah, I think he's the only active member. So yeah, in a bit.